quick opening remark, and then I'm ready for questions. One out of every 4 Canadians has reported that they will not be able to afford their homes if interest rates continue to rise. That means Canadians will lose their homes. The government keeps on saying it's not their fault that inflation has gone up. That's a failure of leadership. What we need is action to help people right now who are struggling with the cost of living going up, and we're going to demand that in question period today. 1 sur 4 Canadiens ont dit qu'ils ne seront pas capables de garder leur maison si le taux d'intérêt continue d'augmenter. Ça veut dire que les Canadiens vont perdre leur maison. Les libéraux disent que ce n'est pas notre faute, c'est un manque de leadership. Le gouvernement doit agir pour aider les familles et c'est exactement ce qu'on va demander dans la période de questions aujourd'hui, l'aide directe financière pour aider les familles qui en ont besoin. With that, I'm ready for any questions you might have.
Before we get into the affordability side, just any comment on the vaccine mandates for domestic travel?
We've long said that when it comes to any public health order, it should be based on the evidence as presented by the public health experts. If there's evidence for a public health order to continue, it should continue. If there is no longer evidence, it should not continue. Canadians should know what the evidence is and should have trust in institutions that the decisions are being made based on good evidence in the interest of keeping people healthy. So we've long said that if there's no longer any evidence, those public health orders or mandates should no longer continue. Ce qu'on a entendu, c'était le fait que les mandats étaient importants dans le passé et on a appuyé les mandats, la vaccination obligatoire. Et quand la preuve n'était pas toujours là de continuer ces ordres de santé publique, on a appuyé la décision d'enlever ces ordres. Donc dans ce cas, selon les experts, il n'y a plus la preuve pour continuer ces ordres. Donc, on appuie à enlever les ordres quand il n'y a pas raison pour les continuer.
Est-ce que vous estimez que le gouvernement fédéral aurait dû agir plus tôt là-dessus, qu'il aurait dû lever les obligations vaccinales plus tôt?
Dans le passé, on a soulevé cette inquiétude que peut-être il n'y a pas la preuve pour continuer la vaccination obligatoire. On a soulevé ça et on pense que c'est important d'avoir une situation au Canada où les Canadiens peuvent avoir confiance dans les décisions du gouvernement et les décisions doivent être basées sur la preuve et c'est pourquoi on appuie cette décision. On a dit qu'on est d'accord quand le Premier ministre et son bureau a demandé si on est d'accord ou non. Et pendant toute la pandémie, on a toujours demandé d'avoir la transparence, la preuve pour montrer aux Canadiens qu'on fait les décisions dans leur intérêt.
Okay, donc, juste pour clarifier, est-ce que vous estimez que le gouvernement fédéral agit au bon moment en ce moment, en levant les obligations vaccinales? Est-ce que si vous étiez au pouvoir, vous auriez fait la même chose que nous?
Basé sur la preuve, je pense que c'est une bonne décision et on appuie la décision.
And just back on the housing affordability side,
Yeah.
I was asking Minister Grusin about the Manulife survey you referenced in your opening statement. He mentioned other ways the Liberals are trying to rein in the cost of living, be it childcare, trying to build more houses. What would you say to that response from the minister?
We need help now. There's certainly steps that we should take for the future, and we support those, and we've in fact been driving a lot of those solutions, making sure people can get their teeth fixed and their teeth looked after. That's a major cost that people can't afford, and that's why our dental care program is going to help a lot of people out. But right now, when people cannot make their monthly payments, when they're worried about their bills, when they're worried about the cost of food, they need direct financial support. And so that's why we're calling specifically for financial supports to be directly delivered into the pockets of Canadians. And 2 ways to do that are concrete, that already work, are the GST tax credit, deliver that directly to Canadians. That happens every quarter, so that's a direct way to give money into people's pockets. We're asking for that to be increased, as well as the Canadian Child Benefit, another way that Canadians receive help. That should be increased. Both of those should be increased to help people right now with their monthly budgets, with their yearly budgets. They need financial supports, and we call for that in addition to other measures to deal with the cost of living going up.
I was wondering if I switch gears slightly.
It's very, very troubling what happened. We had 2 Sikh men that there is no evidence were engaged in any sort of activity that was in any way troubling. They were engaged in a peaceful activity on the Hill to raise awareness about the plight of Sikhs in India, the genocide against Sikhs. And in raising awareness about this plight, they were arrested, searched, the turbans were removed, all on a call which was a hoax. The call was false. The call was not based on anything. And that in light of what we saw when the occupation was going on in Ottawa, when we had people that were engaged in holding up signs and flags that were related to extreme right-wing organizations, dangerous organizations, their presence on the Hill, there was very little reaction, and there was communities were hurt. The local residents were hurt because of the inaction of the police. And in this case, without any real basis, without any real evidence, 2 Sikh men were treated very poorly, were, in their own words, were made to feel embarrassed in front of their family, were made to feel demeaned based on a false call. That clearly shows there's a problem with the way threats are being taken. Real threats from extreme right-wing organizations are ignored, and false threats targeted towards racialized men are taken to the extreme. That is a problem, and that needs to be addressed.
Do you think police should aim to investigate and prosecute those who were involved in submitting that hit, what is being called a bogus hit?
Yes, I think that's a reasonable step of a course of action. It's a very serious thing to make a threat like that. It takes up police resources. It takes up time. There's a considerable people that are impacted by that. People are worried about their safety. There's a serious there's a serious impact caused by this. So absolutely, people should not be making these type of false claims. Something as dangerous as a bomb threat, and it should be something that's investigated. Absolutely.
Thank you, Messi.
Merci. Thanks.